It's funny how history repeats itself sometimes. What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming. This is forever ago, but I don't even remember the specific situation that it was about. But at one point, Capcom did several things right, several things really good, really well, all in the space of a few days. And I made a video usually about each thing, praising each topic. And eventually I just said, yay, how are they, they're doing good, they're doing great by their fans. And then, like a couple of days later, they fucked it all up by doing something like really negative or really stupid or whatever it was. And history has repeated itself. So, over the last couple of days, you've probably noticed that I made a bunch of videos talking about Capcom. Usually, it was in great regard, and stuff that they were doing right, they were listening to fans, giving people the games that they wanted, etc, etc. And now, having said that, and all that's happened, a few days later, here we are again, Capcom does something lazy and stupid. So, you guys might remember that there is a Devil May Cry HD remaster. That's right, because the remaster already exists. And it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC in March of 2018. Now, here's where things get a little bit sketchy. So, we already know that the collection is going to run at 1080p 60 frames per second. That was a given, I say almost a given. That was what was expected from the console version, but it would have been a given from the PC side of it. I mean, 60 frames per second on anything on the console is always questionably up in the air. Hell, as is 1080p almost, even if they are remastered PS2 games. But here's where things get a bit lazy. Now, there will be no Xbox One X or PS4 Pro enhancements on these games. So even if you have an Xbox One, an Xbox One S, or an Xbox One X, your game will be running at native 1080p 60 frames per second. And if you have a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro, your game will also be running at 1080p 60 frames per second. Not too bad, okay? That's semi-understandable, because when you think about it, not every game gets Xbox One X enhanced, even if it is only a remaster or whatever. But hell, let's face it, Bluepoint Games are doing the right thing, and they're giving us a 60 frames per second performance option on the Shadow of the Colossus remake next year. But that's beside the point. But here's where things get really lazy, and this is what really starts to annoy me. So remember, the collection, this Devil May Cry Remastered trilogy, is also coming to PC, a platform which can run extremely higher fidelity games at 60 frames per second and above at 4K. But on PC, this lazy remaster, you can probably already guess where I'm going with this because I threw in the word lazy, is going to run at 1080p 60 frames per second on a PC in 2018. I never ever thought I would have to utter those words, ever. Now, I'm torn on this, okay, because the reason why I'm torn is that 1, I want to play the Devil May Cry trilogy. 2, I will not play Devil May Cry at 1080p 60 frames per second on a PC. I will wait to see if modders can do something with it to actually make it render at a higher resolution. Chances are they probably can. Or maybe even if it's just a simple matter of messing with the INI file or the config or whatever it is. But I am officially, right now, not buying this game until something like this is sorted or worked out. However, this is also where I'm torn. Should I buy a game like this, designed by a company and lazily ported by a company like this? Because even if at the end of the day, modders can make it run at native 4K, even though I'll be playing it at native 1440p, it's just easier to say 4K and more people will understand it. Should I support a company that does this kind of stuff with their lazy ports and remasters? The idea of locking a game on PC at 1080p is ridiculous. Capcom have officially announced there is no plans for 4K support on any of the 3 platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. The absolute idea of locking a game at 1080p on PC is astounding. And even when the modders find out how to do the stuff that they do, I don't know if I want to support the company that does this. So I don't know, I'm torn. There was a previous issue like this before, actually. It was done slightly differently though because of the nature of the game. Let me give you an example. Resident Evil Remastered, or Resident Evil HD Remake, Remastered, whatever, that game I played on stream about a week ago. Well, a week ago if you're watching this video the day I uploaded. For all I know, you're watching this in 2021 and I played it 3 or 4 years ago. But that game is actually rendered in 1080p. Now I say rendered because the backgrounds are actually pre-rendered videos. They're actually small video files, usually maybe about 2 seconds long, and they just loop over and over and over. So they're actual video files, and those video files are rendered at 1080p, 720p if you're playing on the console version. Now there were ways to force around it, but it would only render your 3D character models at higher resolution. For example, when I was playing in 1440p the other day, it was rendering all my character models and all the 3D models at 1440p. the backgrounds were still 1080p, because they're video files and actually done that way. Thankfully, it was changed for Resident Evil 0, and it actually supported it in a different way, but it was kind of annoying that a game would be locked to 1080p, because the game is actually locked to 1080p for the remake, not Resident Evil 0, but the actual first remake. Even though you could go around it and get the character models to render higher, you would have to do it in a small workaround, which within itself was kind of annoying. So I don't know, I'm going to have to wait and see how this whole situation plays out. There's a couple more months, it releases in March, so we'll see if Capcom change their mind, if they actually do decide to support it or unlock it or whatever. We'll see what modders and all them and the community can actually do. But at the same time, it gives me time to ponder if I do want to support a company that does this kind of shit. Now, I'm not going to completely boycott Capcom for it, but I would certainly not buy the game over something like this, potentially. We'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comments section below, does any of this influence your purchasing decision on your platform of choice? Will you be playing the game on an Xbox One X, on a 4K TV, and it will be all blurry because you're upscaling to 4 times the pixel count? Will you be doing the same with a PS4 Pro, or will it be the same for a PC for you? Will this influence your decision at all? Will you not be buying it? Will you be holding off on it to see if it gets a patch or if modders can do their thing? Or what's the deal with it? Let me know, because the first one is a quality game. From what I remember, the second one is decent, and I don't think I've ever played the third one. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the whole situation in the comments section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.